Thanks to the support as a channel member, Graham McDermott. I guess time will tell Mrs Wearmouth if it's a good idea bringing him in without a work permit or not. From my perspective, a wonder kid's a wonder kid. He's one of the best young players in the world, and he's playing every game for Korea now. So hopefully by the time he arrives in the summer, he will be able to get a work permit. Yeah, I know it could backfire. I know it's an expensive move that could go wrong. He could end up being the superstar we've needed all along. Hello and welcome to part 117 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Premier League. We're away, against both Liverpool and Southampton. Since you were last with me, our European push has crumbled. 3 consecutive defeats. Remember how I said we'd not been spanked all season? We got spanked by Norwich in our very next game after that episode finished. We then narrowly lost to both Manchester City and Arsenal. It looks worse than it is. Losing to Manchester City and Arsenal. Did I say United before? Losing to Manchester City and Arsenal is nothing to be embarrassed about. The Norwich result, maybe more so. But then coming into having to play Liverpool as well. It is a tough run of games that we're in. And it means we now find ourselves down in 13th place in the league. 38 points on the board. We're still safe from relegation, I think. One more win, we're definitely there. We're 13 points clear of 18th place, so I don't think it's anything that we need to worry about. We're certainly also not going to qualify for Europe now either. We're 11 points behind Bournemouth, who are up in 6th place. So shows how quickly that can turn itself on its head. Slam dunks Birmingham, still very much in the race. But as we discussed a little bit on stream recently, just because Birmingham are above us in the league doesn't mean Slam Dunk's a better manager than me. He can sign players at any age. He has no transfer restrictions. I've got to sign 18-year-olds and under. Come work under my conditions, Slam Dunk. It's not as easy as I make it look. Talking of signing 18-year-olds, we have got the one that we talked about in the last episode agreed to come in. It's not as expensive a deal as I've made out to Mrs Wearmouth there. It's only just over £250,000. He joins us in the summer. Park Seung-ryul. He failed his work permit because he hasn't played 60% of South Korea's games in the last year. However, if he carries on playing every game like he has this calendar year, hopefully by the time we ask again in the summer, he will have played 60%, and we should be able to get him his work permit then. But he is the wonder kid. He's a 2.5-star current ability right winger. Would slot straight into our team on that right hand side if we can bring him in. We just need to get him that work permit. If he doesn't get it immediately, I'm sure he'll get it soon enough, because I imagine he's going to be an ever-present for South Korea for some time to come. The other youngster we've got coming in the summer is somebody that we've had this one arranged for a long time. Sandro Veloso is currently at Sporting. We had this arranged when he was still a 16-year-old. He finally arrives this summer. I'm not sure how he's been developing in that time. He's still got an 87 for his scout report. If he ends up being the striker we've always dreamed of, that'd be lovely. He's very quick, but not much of a finisher, and little similar to how Villalobos is. So we'll see. He arrives in the summer as well. So that's our first 2 youngsters already arranged for this summer. We are still looking. We are still shopping. We have £46 million to spend, and I can't find anybody to spend it on. It's a ridiculous situation to find in. What I want is a time machine to go back 10 years, to give 2025 Kev 5 million in this and say, look, I'm from the future. I can't find anyone to spend this on. Fill your boots, have a little bit of it, and it would have made a big difference back then. But now, we can't find anyone who improves this, and it's very difficult. So let's go to Liverpool, try and get our league form back into some kind of reasonable order again. We're still trying to get goals out of Villalobos. I am still persisting with him for now. 6 goals from 25 games is a pathetic first season in the Premier League, but maybe his time will come. We're not giving up on him just yet. We have got an injury to Richardson and Gregoire, though, so neither of them available for this game, and Ali Basic. So we're starting to get down to bare bones a little bit in the midfield, which means a return to the side for Ola Richards, and Nathan Wally gets to start as well, who's been probably our best player on the most recent run of games. He really is starting to look like a bit of a special talent. It's nice to have another very good English wonder kid. There you go. He's graduated to wonder kid status, as I think Passotti has as well. Yeah, Passotti is now a Brazilian wonder kid. So a few more of them graduating to become wonder kids. I think Djukic is as well. Not quite. He will be soon. But yeah, we're almost a team full of wonder kids now. Perisato, Fazekas, Abagai, Pasotti, Oliveira, Wally, Villalobos, all wonder kids. The only ones who aren't are the ones who are a little bit too old to qualify for it. Williams, Hodgkinson, and Ola Richards, who, of course, I don't think he ever was a wonder kid, but did finish second in the Next Gen Award, so was very highly rated when he was younger, even if we've maybe hampered his development slightly by signing a slightly better. It's very much the Williams-Green situation all over again. Williams was slightly better than Green, so because that led to him getting the game time, so now he's a gazillion times better than Green. It's the same with Richardson and Richards. Richardson was a little bit better than Richards 5 years ago, but has now played regularly for 5 years with Richards as his backup, and now they're not in the same stratosphere when it comes to ability. And that does mean that when Richardson's unavailable, bringing Ola Richards in isn't quite as, it doesn't matter as it used to be, because it is a significant downgrade on that left-hand side, which is why a lot of the time we've been using Lukinas there. And in fact, that's exactly what we're going to do now, because Ola Richards has picked up a knock. He lasted 28 minutes. Lukinas is going to come on as an inside forward on that left-hand side. And I think this long-term is going to be Lukinas' role. What the hell is going on? Lukinas is now injured as well. I guess we're going to the diamond because we've run out of wingers. So we'll go Villalobos and Bayer up front with Wally in there, Pasotti there. We'll do that. What is happening? Have they just got a thug playing right back for them who's broken 2 players in the first half an hour of a football match? That's ridiculous. I don't know that I've ever seen a player come on and get injured that quickly before, but that's exactly what we've just seen for Lukinas. And it is a rare outing in the Premier League for the Diamond, but it is another opportunity for Bayer and Villalobos to play together, both in their natural roles, and having a partner up for Villalobos, see if that helps him out. It doesn't seem to have helped him so far. He's having a poor game. Wally's having a poor game. Everyone really in the attack not playing particularly impressively. The one thing we've got going for us is we haven't conceded a goal yet. Djukic is having the worst game on the pitch at the moment, though, so Gillespie's going to come on for him. And that's all 3 of our substitutions done, because everyone else has had to come off through injury. So let's see. Gillespie's absolutely leathered that forward there and left us with a 2-on-2. And Bayer is in, and Chancel Bayer has scored. He's been forced into the game through circumstance. We've been forced into playing this diamond. It gets these 2 up front together, and this might be the future of the attack, playing 2 up front, because Bayer is just, he's ready. He's got to be playing, but at the same time, Villalobos has got to be playing, because he's the one with the bigger upside, the bigger potential, who we should be trying to develop. So that's why I'm still starting Villalobos, even though Bayer's our top scorer. But maybe we need to be playing both of them, especially while the likes of Ali Basic and Richardson, and now Lukinas and Richards, are all injured. Perhaps we go with the diamond for the rest of the season and see how it works out. Liverpool have grabbed an 89th minute equaliser there, and that upsets me, because I feel like we deserve the win. We don't. If you look at the match stats, it's been a very, very even game. And in fact, Liverpool have probably had the better of the opportunities. There's not been much highlight worthy, but we've defended pretty well. Their XG is considerably better than ours, so they're going to feel hard done by it. It's a draw. But ultimately, they never really threatened the goal, apart from that one goal they scored. At least we've stopped the rot with the consecutive defeats. And hopefully, we're chasing our first win in 5. Hopefully, we can go through this international break, score a few goals in a friendly, and come back against Southampton and grab that first win in 6 games, because we really need it. Well, we've managed to generate a couple more injuries as well. Djukic and Diego Perez now also injured, so that's another fullback and another winger. So we're definitely going with the diamond for this game against Southampton, and this is what it looks like. Williams in goal, back for Abagai, Anderson. In fact, we've got them the wrong way around on there. Rolls, Anderson, Fazekas, Peresato, Pisotti in front of them, Gregoire and Hodgkinson, then Oliveira behind Bayer and Villalobos as the front two. So big changes from the last game, but I don't know that we've ever started a diamond in the Premier League before. I don't know how many times we've started a diamond in the save in general. It's not been a system we've used a lot of, but if you watch the Streamer Showdown this weekend just gone, you'll have seen me fall back in love with the diamond system throughout the course of the weekend as it became very effective with the team that I was using there. So willing to give it another try, and it's not started very well, has it? We're 1-0 down after the first minute. So maybe, I don't want to see. I don't want to know why or how that happened with their first shot. This might be the first and only time we start a diamond. Although, I mean, when we switched to the diamond against Liverpool in that last game, we looked pretty good. Apart from conceding that frustrating goal towards the end, we were very close to picking up a victory there. So fingers crossed, the early goal is just a blip. But here they are again on the attack. The one that got away, Lamptey, with the free kick, who should be our striker, but we just couldn't get him in. I'll tell you that story every time we play Southampton for the rest of time. Peresato playing it forward to Villalobos, who's come quite deep, actually. I think that's the first time I've seen him venture into our half all season. He's got the ball back from Peresato here. He's got Bayer waiting for him in the middle. Oliveira arrives late and his header is held relatively comfortably by the Southampton goalkeeper. But nice to see us getting a little bit of attacking momentum going. Gregoire gets it back in midfield. Hodgkinson spraying it out to Abagai, who's come forward on this left-hand side, skips past the marker, and Bayer is there, and there's his 10th goal of the season. This boy is a goal scorer. I've spent all this time hunting for a striker, and I think what we've learned over and over again during this season is we've had him all along, and he's one of our own academy boys. He's the first striker to come through the academy since Troy Cannon. It's been a position we've been very, very sparse on with our own players over the last 10 seasons, probably. But looking at that 11 that's out there today, the only academy players we've got in there are Williams, Hodgkinson, and Bayer. So clearly, Lamptey. It's heartbreaking every single time. He should be playing for us. That's where that £5 million from before would have been useful. If I could send it back to the summer, we almost signed him but couldn't quite afford the fee. That would be what I'd do, because then we'd have had our striker for years and we'd have probably won the Champions League by now. I don't know that he's a Champions League quality striker, but he always scores goals consistently in the Premier League for Southampton. So, oh dear. Well, we're struggling a little bit defensively here, as you would probably imagine. I think if we're going to play a diamond, we probably can't have an inverted wing back on the left-hand side of it, because we've basically got nothing on that side because of that. But we don't have a left back at the club, so it has to be an inverted one over there because they're all right footers. Anderson now has come quite far forward here, plays it all the way back to Fazekas, and we look to build again with Peresato on the right, who's got lots of options inside of him. One of them is Villalobos, and it's the 7th goal of the season for him. It's lovely work from Kieran Hodgkinson, back in the team because of this current injury situation, and showing that he still has an awful lot of class about him. Maybe we should be playing Hodgkinson a little bit more often than we have been. Ali Bassick has kind of pushed him out of the side this season, but that's a beautiful pass from Hodgkinson. Villalobos with a very solid finish. It's now 2-2. But Southampton on the attack again. We've not even hit half-time yet. Villalobos has done well to win the ball back there. Is this one of his rare games where he decides he's up for it? Southampton in behind again. And, oh dear, it's bobbling around in our area. Somebody needs to get a hold of this and get it free. And now they've got a corner. Cross comes in. Fazekas heads clear. And now Oliveira with the chance for a counter-attack. He's got Bayer ahead of him. I think that's Hodgkinson charging forward in the middle. Oliveira is there as well. Villalobos has hit the penalty area. And, Oliveira was the one on the ball, so that couldn't have been him charging forward before. All right, it must have been Gregoire then, maybe. And Peresato's in here, but couldn't quite win the header. That would have been very interesting if he connects with that. But now we've got ourselves in a little bit of trouble from the counter-attack from Southampton. Fazekas needs to deal with it. He hasn't. And somebody scraped it clear. I think that's Peresato with the hacked clearance. But this is end-to-end stuff. We're two teams in mid-table who both fancy our chances today, I think. Southampton as the home team and us as the home team. Oh, that was poor. Who feel like we should be higher up this table. We finished 9th the last couple of years. I feel a little bit out of place down in 12th. I think we've just had a little bit of a rough run of form, a little bit of poor luck with injuries recently, and we should be higher up this league table than we are. And of course, the luck of bringing in Villalobos and then him turning out to not be able to score any goals. Although, I mean, he has started scoring a little bit more frequently in this second half of the season. I think there is a player in there, and hopefully we'll meet him next season. Hodgkinson plays it into Villalobos again, and see, when he's finished, when he's ready, surely he drives that into the far post and grabs a goal there. He just doesn't quite seem to have the decision-making just yet to be a really prolific striker. We're going to bring Wally on in midfield now. Oliveira is going to drop back in there to cover, and should we play full neck? Kind of want to get full neck on up front. He went to Hearts and was their key player. He was playing for them in Europe this year. 4 goals in 7 appearances in the Europa League for Hearts. I'm not going to bring him on in midfield. Weirdly, he can play defensive midfield apparently, which he's absolutely not going to play. But I kind of want to bring him on up front now. I've noticed that he's there. We might bring him on for Bayer. Is he? He's a complete forward. You know what? Let's bring him on as a complete forward. Let's have a look at him. Caetano's now flabbergasted that this lad from Luton, who spent the first half of the season in Scotland, has got into the team ahead of him. Caetano's about to go on loan again back to the MLS. I think he's been there twice before. Seattle are now interested in him, so I think he is currently under offer. Is it Seattle? It is Seattle, so he's probably heading back to the MLS anyway. It's only once before he's been there, and he didn't score a single goal. So if he wants to be brought on as a difference maker, he needs to score goals in the MLS to start things off. Right, we are going to bring we're going to take Passotti off, and I'm going to put Abagai there. Parasato's going to come across to there, and we're going to bring on Hippolyte to play right back. I think in the diamond, Hippolyte's probably the one rather than Gillespie that we want charging up and down that right wing, because he's much more attack-minded. And Villalobos could release Hippolyte there, but chooses not to. Abagai does, though. And here is Hippolyte on the right-hand side. Cross comes over. Full neck's there. He looks like there's a lot of him. How big's full neck? Hold the phone. He's only 6'1". Shows how small Villalobos is. I've seen a man shorter than me and thought he was Peter Crouch. But they did look like there was a lot of him. I think we all saw it. Right, 2-2. Into the 92nd minute, Parasato is lining up for a long throw, which seems like a terrible idea. Full necks come short for it in the end. Oliveira across to Wally. It takes a massive deflection, and Nathan Wally has his 5th goal of the season. A lot of luck attached to that one. I feel like that balances out what Liverpool did to us at the end of that previous game. Fingers crossed we can hold on from here, make it 4 points from this episode. Bearing in mind it's 2 away games, picking up 4 points. You've got to be happy with that. And we are pushing ourselves back up towards that top half of the table. After what had been a rotten run of form, we have our first win in 6. And hopefully we can go on a little bit of a run now towards the end of the season and secure another top half finish for the 3rd year in a row. Let's have a look what games we've got left. We don't really play any of the big teams now until the last day of the season when we play Manchester United. So a nice little run of games coming up. We're not making it up into Europe like the original plan was, but we could potentially catch Slam Dunk. And that's always a nice target to have. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.